Hello, hello, hello. Margaret Lloyd here with a breath of fresh air. Not feeling good. So let's see. Eternal shift, new life. Let's see. Let's see what we got going here. All right. So let's get this going. Okay, so we're talking again about get back to the choosing joy, a life without psychological pain. Yeah, we don't like psychological pain. We don't like pain, period. So remember, something you push away stays in there. You're supposed to go camping. It starts raining. I guarantee you, 2 hours later or 5 hours on the phone, you're going to tell someone that it rained when you wanted to go camping. Well, white lines went by, clouds went by, all kinds of things happened. But that stayed in there, didn't it? You didn't talk about everything. You talked about that, didn't you? You talked about the rain. That's all you talked about. You didn't talk about anything else about how you wanted to go camping and wanted to do this and wanted to do that. You talked about the negativity. And because it stayed in there, it came back up. It disturbed you and you kept the disturbance. You need to get rid of that disturbance. That's how I tried. If I can get this through to you, why would you want to make a storehouse of your mind and your heart of every single thing that happened, that bothered you? You don't. You want to keep things that make you happy. That's what I'm doing. I'm getting rid of the disturbance. The disturbance doesn't disturb me anymore. It really doesn't. If you store every disturbance that you ever had inside of you, like when you were in high school, they're still there. So stop storing them. Just let them go. So go to a high school unit. He advises against it, but go to a 20-year high school reunion and where do you feel, how you feel about those different people? Well, I'll tell you, because we have many little mini luncheons, reunions with different people. Everybody's invited, but it's just those that come are the ones we meet with, and it's basically the same ones. And they're people that I didn't hang with in high school. I didn't. I knew who they were, but I didn't interact with them. They may have been in a class or two, but I never interacted with them. It'll be exactly like it was when you were in high school. The computer has memory, and so do you. But a computer's memory doesn't throw it back at itself. But yours does. So we got to stop that. It's just a memory. It's white lines, people, things, age things. People store them fine. But don't. Get rid of all that crap in your head. Make room for new, good crap. good things. Make room in your brain for good things. Make room in your heart for good things. You have a built-in memory system. Hypnotism says they can go down there and find it. Every single thing, every experience, it's in there. You have a memory system. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about some stuff came in that you didn't want to experience, so you pushed it away. That gets stored in a different place than pure memory, pure intellect. It gets put in a place that is what I call my pure hell. It's like yoga. Let's see what this is all about. Koso. Let's see what this has to say. What is COSO? Samskars. I have no idea. Okay, not sure what that is. Patterns of energy that didn't make it through. Sort of like the Hoover Dam stopped the Colorado River whenever it did. It's still happening. The river wants to flow through anything you ever afraid. Anything you ever pushed away is still there, not just still in there as memory. It's that if you drive by a sign and some pictures on the sign, or drive by a McDonald's or anything like that, and you had some experience 20 years ago in high school and you embarrassed yourself, you dropped some ketchup and kids laughed at you, all right, it's coming back. That's not pure memory. That's pattern of energy that you stored inside, so it stayed in there. It's like explaining it again, the books. I will try to write it to you. You have will. You have will, can do things in there, can't you? This transcript does not make sense, so I am so sorry. I'm trying to decipher it as best I can. You push things away. You can express your will out of there. You'll lift your arm up. Will you have power called willpower? You'll understand. You go deep on in meditation, you'll understand that its power of consciousness, concentrated consciousness, has a power of will for you to apply. Will you have to concentrate? You have to apply the focus like a magnifying glass out on the field where sun's everywhere. Put a magnifying glass out there, it's burning the leaf underneath it. Concentrated energy. Your will is your consciousness, focusing, and you have this power of will. you just use it to block the energy that was coming from the outside. So a pattern coming in, it comes in. It's supposed to make it through and feed you. It doesn't make it through. Why did you stop it? You need to listen. That will is like the Hoover Dam. It's willing the water to stop. And that's what we have to do. We have to will the negativity to not come in. We need to will positivity to come in. That energy needs to keep going through the universe. It's trying to make it through you, but it can't. It hit a blockage. That's what a blockage is. If you asserted will, no, I don't want it to come through. I don't want to feel this. Well, what happened to the energy that was passing through? It circled around your will. That's how energy stays in one place, and it circles around itself. And that is what a samskar is. It has a very deep understanding of you as essence of deep yoga teachings, or get rid of these samskars. Why? Because they're in there waiting and trying to come back up. That thing that you stored in there from high school or from 10 minutes ago because somebody sat where you wanted to sit or was wearing what you wish you had bought. You couldn't afford it. You do this junk in your head, don't you? Yeah. And so the energy of it, the discomfort of it, is blocked by your will. And now it circles around and it stays there. It won't go away. You have to let it in so you can push it down. You need to store it. Once you've stored this bad stuff, it keeps coming back. Excuse me. Got code. And I don't like it. What is inner suffering? Inner suffering is things that happened outside and you brought it in. That's what happens. It rains. It does. All kinds of things come in. Roaches run across the floor. Yes, things happen. They have. We notice they come in. They're supposed to pass through, but it doesn't mean you don't deal with them. If a roach runs across the floor in your kitchen, you don't freak out. Oh my God, it's a terrible thing has happened. No, a terrible thing didn't happen. A bug just ran across the floor. You feel it, you see it, you understand it. I told you once before that one of the oldest living creatures on Earth, they were around with the dinosaurs right there. Did you know that? Yeah, roaches were around in dinosaurs. We can't get rid of them. They're serious stuff, those rows. That's why they survive. Live in your kitchen. Not if I can help it. It runs across the floor. You deal with it, but you feel it. You experience it. It's a real thing that happened. You don't have to block it and never go back into your house again. Or yell at everybody. Or do something right. Do something right. That's what you need to do. I remember a time I lived on Iowa Street, and a mouse ran across in the kitchen, a little one. Scared the shit out of me. I hollered at Wayne to come get that mouse. He did. It's just an event that took place. You want to kill it? That's your business. You want to spray it? It's your business. You want to pick it up and carry it outside? I pick them up in cuffs. She picks it up in her hand, picks the thing up. I can't get him to do it, so we all deal with it differently. But the point is, first you accept it. First you accept that it happened. You have no right not to accept something that happened like it happened. You're a very intelligent person. You can make it not have happened. I don't want that roach to have run across my floor. Sorry it did. But what did you do about it? It's your business. But to sit there and they're wanting you denied, let it ruin your life that something happened. That's crazy. Just deal with it. Deal with the roach. Yes, my ex-husband tried to kill me. I've dealt with it. I'm dealing with it. I'm not letting it bother me. Snickers, lay down. It's all gone. All gone, baby. Lay down. But to sit there and complaining about it and denying that it happened, it did happen. Just deal with it. And don't keep the pain. The pain needs to go. So what's happening is you're storing pain. That's what psychological pain is. It's events that took place that you couldn't handle, so you pushed them away, stored them, and so now you have all this stored pain in there. And so if different things happen that bring you the pain back up and you don't like it, you didn't like it the first time, don't like it the second time. So what do? You deal with it. You just deal with the pain. You get over it. You work through it. You improve yourself. Because if you don't improve yourself, nobody else is going to do that. We devote our lives to manipulating the world outside of us so it doesn't hit your stuff. Do you understand that? It's literally nothing should say anything or remind you of your stuff. We don't talk about that around your father. Why? Because Daddy couldn't handle his past. So we don't do that. I never did that with my kids. Never did it. Never said, we don't talk about that because that makes Daddy angry. Or we don't talk about that because it makes Mommy angry. No, I never did that. You want to talk about it? Talk about it. Deal with it. You're sensitive. You're not sensitive. You store garbage inside of you and it's sensitive. Why? Because it's trying to come out and it comes up by itself, doesn't it? In your dreams, does it come back up? No, not really. I don't dream about that stuff. I love not dreaming because I wake up happy. Psychology's beautiful. Just go a little deeper and realize you don't need to do this. As I said, if you suffered mentally and emotionally, don't feel guilty. Don't feel guilty about it. It's not the nature of the things the nerves have in nature. Yes, things push them too hard. They send pain up. But the psychology stuff you did, you're the one who couldn't handle the reality that took place. If you could handle the reality that took place, I was married, I was in love. It was wonderful. I fell in love. Then who knows what happened? But he's a bastard. I didn't know, but boy, did it get ugly. But you seem perfectly comfortable talking about it. Oh, I'm good talking about it now. I was not comfortable talking about it when it was happening. Why would I talk about it? I don't need to talk about it. It's done. It's gone. It's over. The next time I talk about it will be in my victim impact statement to the judge, where I cut things down. Right now I'm healthy. I'm a healthy human being. I handled the situation that took place. Isn't that what healthy is? What did Darwin say about evolution? The survival of the fittest, the adaptability to creatures adapted, then survive. That's my adaptability to reality. I survive. You can only handle what you want. And I did. I handled it. I didn't want it, but I handled it so I could keep my life as it was, as I was living. Keeping what I had, my tangible things. I don't need those things anymore. I used to. I don't anymore. How's your adaptability to reality? Mine is awesome. You can only handle what you want. If anything happens that bothers you before it bothers you again, we're not adaptable. I'm adaptable. I'm getting. It's not easy to be adaptable, but I'm getting there and I'm adapting. Somebody wants to ask me, what is spiritual evolution? Spiritual evolution, just like physical evolution, you evolve inside to be adaptable, to be able to handle reality. If you can't handle reality, ask Darwin. If a species as it was evolving couldn't handle reality, is it still here? No. It's not so complicated. The ones that couldn't handle reality are not here anymore. The ones that adapted and could handle reality, and humans supposedly are the highest level of this thing. No, I think it's the cockroaches is the highest level. I don't understand it at all, right? Being able, you can live in the desert, you can live in the rainforest, you can live in the cold, you can live in space. You can eat vegetarian, you can be a breatharian. What is a breatharian? Let's see what that is. I like, when I see new words, I like to know what they mean. Breatharian. Let's see, what does this say? A person who believes that it is possible through meditation to reach a level of consciousness where one can obtain all sustenance from the air and sunlight. Okay. It's cheaper, right? They don't charge us for air. You're so adaptable. It's amazing. Okay, what about inside? This is spiritual evolution. You evolve by being adaptable. You're able to handle reality. We may have to make this into a 3-part. You evolve by being adaptable. You're able to handle reality. Absolutely. We just said you are the sum of your learned experiences. But so is everybody else. But we also said nobody has the same experience as you, and that's absolutely true. Therefore, no one is the same as you. No one looks at it the same as you. Absolutely. They can't. Not your husband, not your kids, not your mommy, not your daddy. They're all having different experiences. They've had different experiences. Are you adaptable enough to handle that fact? That not everybody sees it the way you do? That they can't possibly see the way you do? Or do you sit there and say, how could you do that? I never would have done that. I never would have said that to you. Well, you didn't have the experience I did. Maybe if you had the experience I did, you would have said it to me. It's called wake up to reality. So if you are going to sit there and push away the things you don't like, then you're going to be very sensitive and you're not going to be able to handle things. They hit the things you don't like, and so eventually you get to the point you catch on. That's what suffering is. Suffering is that stored pain inside of me. I didn't have to, but I did because I couldn't handle it when it happened. I couldn't handle the reality of the moment. I stored pain inside of me. Now I need events to unfold outside of that. Don't touch that. I also stored nice things inside me. That's exactly right. There are moments you've had in your life that were very special. The birth of my children. Oh my God. Beautiful days. March 30th of 76 and October 5th of 88. How many, let me get back to that. There are moments that you've had in your life that were very special. How many compared to the moments that bothered you? More moments that bothered me than were happy, unfortunately. You're bothered all the time. Excuse me. When was the last time the driver in front of you turns on Okay, I'm going to have to end here. Not feeling good. We'll take this up again tomorrow. Peace, love,